Cargill Enterprises recently found itself borrowing money to stay afloat. The Star reporter Dan Hutchinson was the man that broke the story about issues at the Disabled Citizens Society-owned workshop. He joins us today with an update on the situation. Good evening, Dan.
Hi, Rebecca.
Now, you first reported on this story about a month ago. Tell us about that.
Well, I just went out to Cargill's for another reason actually, but while I was there, I just sort of saw what they were doing and just got talking to them and had a bit of a tour around the place, and they just mentioned that they had undergone a few changes over the last few years, particularly relating to government changes that just made it compulsory for their workers, which are all disabled people, mainly intellectually disabled, some physically disabled people. But new rules came in about 5 years ago, which meant that they had to all be paid the minimum wage, and the government would top up depending on how disabled they were. But that basically meant they had to really have quite a business focus about what they did. And as a result, sort of changed to a much more sort of business-like approach, and as a result, they had been losing money while they adapted to it, to the tune of about $80,000 a year in recent years. So we thought that was worth highlighting, just so that if people could help out, basically.
And the story does appear to have got a response.
It has actually, yes. A lot of their customers, their existing customers, and sort of new customers have come up with some ideas. Some of their suppliers have offered to do things for free. They even had a woman come in off the street and just gave them $2,000 towards it, which was quite nice. And they've also got a big contract with I think Foot's Haulage, who offered instead to dump the waste sawdust that they get from making pallets. That instead of dumping it at a cost of about $10,000 a year, that they would actually be able to sell that to the public. And so now they're buying it rather than Cargill's having to pay to get rid of it.
So what are the managers at the workshops telling you about their future now?
Well, they're quite positive about it. I mean, they are working, increasingly towards a break-even sort of position. So they're quite positive about it, and they have been making inroads, but just it's been a hard work for them, and quite a unique industry really to turn a profit on what is essentially a public service that they're providing to people.
Reporter Dan Hutchinson, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.